and welcome to episode 12 of Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blog cast. I am recording this today on my iPad. This is my second attempt at recording on the iPad. I am recording on the iPad because my computer is not doing so well. It is in its last throes, I think. I don't know. I have one last thing I can attempt. And then I think I may have to, well, hopefully that last thing will work. That's the thing. But meanwhile, it won't stay on for more than 10 minutes at a time, which makes it a little bit difficult to do things like open GarageBand and record things. So I am attempting this again on my iPad, which means for you listeners only that the sort of music transitions will be a little more abrupt than I would like, because the thing that is tricky on the iPad is figuring out how to adjust sort of levels between things. So I apologize for abrupt transitions today. Maybe that's a good thing to apologize for in general, just like abrupt transitions. Yeah, technology, man, technology. It's so awesome, and it's provides us things like podcasts, and then it takes 2 days of your life while you try and figure out how to fix things when they break. That is the bummer of technology. And yes, but apparently worth it. So this blog is, it's called, Can We Find Another Word for Emerging? It's about a thing that happens in the arts where there's all kinds of funding and programs and whatever for emerging artists, which I am often called. And I have responses to this designation. So yeah, I'll read you some more about it. I think this was triggered by a conversation I had where I was brought in as an artist on a program, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, all these young artists or whatever," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not so young," and he was like, "Emerging. You're emerging," and I was like, "Sure, yeah, okay, fine." So that is the genesis of this blog. So here it is, the blog. Can we find another word for emerging? Listen, if you want to help me and give me opportunities, you can call me whatever you want. I'm happy to receive your beneficence as a young artist, I'm 42, or as a unicorn, a magical, majestic creature, certainly, or as an emerging artist. It's really like all semantics at a certain point, if also inaccurate. Since I can no longer technically be called a young artist, I am most often called this emerging artist thing when I apply for or receive artistic opportunities. But what does emerging really mean? To me, emerging calls to mind a little green sprout in the springtime, maybe the hint of a flower bud. It makes me think of an artist who is on the cusp of becoming themselves, someone about to discover their craft, a world of potential. The idea of supporting emerging artists, I think, is to help someone at the beginning of their career to bloom, to discover their artistic practice, to unleash their aesthetic. My sense is that funders like to fund this sort of thing. I think they like to feel like they had a hand in the magic fertilizer that feeds a growing artist. It's a little bit sexy, perhaps, to be a part of a new artist's journey of self and artistic discovery. Now, in my case, I am a grown-up woman. I have a clear aesthetic. I know what I am and how I work. I have bloomed, y'all, many times, and I do not feel like I'm emerging. If I'm a plant, I have popped my head above the soil, seen the whole landscape, grown tall, and bloomed. It's just that you probably missed it. The reason I'm considered an emerging artist is because most people have missed it. I've been doing all the blooming in gardens no one visits. So very few people have experienced my particular brand of emergence. This does not mean I am not an awesome plant. I am. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but since you probably haven't seen it, I sort of have to. I am a rare, interesting, kick-ass flower, y'all. I don't need help blooming. So I don't dig being seen as emerging because I ain't. I am emerged. What I am is under-resourced, underexposed, underfunded, underacknowledged, under-recognized. The problem isn't with me, which is what emerging implies, as emerging is something I'm doing. The problem is with the establishment that is not giving me its resources. I'm looking for a word that puts the focus where it belongs, which is on the culture and the field, because I do need the support of all the structures that want to help artists in need, but I always feel slightly uncomfortable when the grant or residency or award or whatever it is geared towards emergence. I feel like they meant to fund someone else, someone younger, someone they could mold and guide a little bit. Not this big old sunflower just searching for some sun, soil, and rain. Do any of you emerging administrators have a better word for emerging artist? How do you think emerging looks next to administrator? It's funny, right? If you're an administrator, you administrate, whether you're starting or finishing. That's how I feel about emerging before artist. I'm an artist. In need of opportunities, without a doubt, but the emerging always feels a little bit condescending. That said, I will reiterate that I will accept any label that comes attached to resources I need. I will be your magical unicorn artist in exchange for rehearsal space. I'd just like to challenge all of us to find a better word than emerging. We can do it. We're creative people, right? We work with words. We can shift how we talk about the arts. And I think, for the benefit of everyone, the emerged, the emerging, the unicorns, the young, the old, we should. So that's the blog about emergence. It's funny because emergence actually has a couple of meanings, but I didn't get into the other ones in this particular blog. So I was thinking, actually, it was funny, as I was starting to record that, I realized the other thing that is a weird flaw in the way the iPad GarageBand situation works, which is that, like, I can't be looking at the document, the blog, in another application. Like, as soon as I leave GarageBand, it all shuts down and stops recording. So this is a 2-device job, recording this blog on the iPad rather than the computer. That's hilarious. So yeah, that is about emergence, emerging. Emerging. It's a funny word. That's all. I hope you enjoyed listening to this one. It was interestingly quite a popular one with a bunch of people I didn't know. So I always like feeling like my net is catching new people and expanding, and that somehow I'm growing an audience a little bit. That's always gratifying. So thank you to new people, but also to the people who are sticking by me, and friends and family, and thank you to everybody. I am grateful for you guys, all of yous. And here's a song. Just a little note about the song that I'm putting here at the end of the blogcast. So this song is a lullaby that I wrote for this adorable child that is the son of my dear friend. I have a little lullaby writing project, if you don't know about it. I'm putting this here because I just got a text from my friend saying that now her son is asking for this song by one of its lines, which features a garbage truck, which I think is so adorable. So it's on my mind. So here's Oscar.
What is troubling you? I don't know. You can't tell me yet, but I can guess though. Is it your tummy that tilts and tumbles? stumbles? Is it the passing truck that shakes and rumbles? Is it wind or is it sun? Or maybe you're just hungry. Oscar, 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 are you sleeping? Oscar, Oscar, sleep feels good and easy. What just made you laugh? I don't know. You can't tell me yet, but I can guess though. Was it the face I made that seemed so funny? Is it because you're like a chunky bunny? Are you ticklish? Do you feel something new to feel? Oscar, 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 are you sleeping? Oscar, Oscar, sleep feels good and easy. What do you desire? I don't know. You can't tell me yet, but I can guess so. Is it the pacifier or a bottle? Is it the blanket or a little cuddle? Is it food or is it toys? Let me know, sweet boy. Oscar, 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 are you sleeping? Oscar, Oscar, sleep feels good and easy. Sleep feels good.